So in 2018, there were repairs on the roof, and the roofing contractor accidentally started a fire around one of the roof hatches, which ended up blowing debris, smoke, and fire extinguisher dust through the entire auditorium. We were brought in initially as a restoration project that was going to go fairly quick. It ended up dragging out through litigation, but over 5 years, we maintained contact with the insurance adjusters, the university, and Gilbane was awarded the job. We reached out to them and worked with their pre-construction team to formulate the best plan based on how they wanted to attack the auditorium.
We've worked with you guys on other projects in the past, and we have established relationships. You guys perform what we ask you to do. You do it safely. For us, it was a problem of access. I mean, inside this auditorium, it's a multi-level auditorium. We have a lot of tricky areas to get to, coming up with creative solutions for access. From that standpoint, you guys were a value-add service for us to be able to get to the areas where we need to do our work.
Through working with the contractors over those 5 years, it was a long process, but once we got the green light to start and we were awarded the project, it really came down to the scaffold builders. This is a unique scaffold project. For our branch, this is probably the largest auditorium project that we've taken on. Any build, move, dismantle of the scaffold is our responsibility.
To me, it was a challenge that I was willing to take.
Did you have to have any considerations on preservation, since it's from the 30s?
Initially, the thought was that they were going to have to replace the seats, which the seats are still the original seats from when it was built in 1939, but they ended up saying that they were going to stay. There were stipulations around the construction of the scaffold around the organ. It is a historic organ that is worth millions of dollars from what we were told. Luckily, the GC worked with us to build essentially a box over it, but the pipes on the organ, being up inside the walls, we had to make sure that we got close enough access for them to perform their work, but not too close to where it would damage those pipes. So this scaffold took about a month to erect in the auditorium. In the attic, it took 2 weeks, and then we've done moves once a week for the contractors to work the AC ducts.
To me, the biggest challenge for this project was starting the job, if you can say, because even though we have a blueprint, many times it doesn't go the way it's planned.
It was just a challenge in, making sure that we didn't damage anything any further. And with scaffold, that's kind of hard to do.
Walking through the bleachers or the chairs, trying not to damage anything, and trying to maneuver big piece of material around it where we don't have to damage or hurt ourselves, basically. A very complex job, so.
I think Sunbelt's team, and Victor obviously leading the charge from the foreman standpoint, did a great job of always assessing how to safely get the guys to where they needed to build the scaffold. When you have such tricky access, it creates situations where the parameters at which you're working at change, and being able to adapt to that is really important, and something he did well. And from a tools and equipment perspective, you guys are kind of our first call when we have a need that comes up that we don't have a immediate sub that can perform that for us. I mean, we've used kind of a wide range. Crane picks for getting material up to the attic, obviously the standard scaffolding systems. We've had a multi-level dance floor inside the auditorium to facilitate access to what would really be pretty inaccessible otherwise. Inside the crawl space, we utilize your guys' shoring system to be able to hold up the floor. We also utilize Sunbelt for the fencing solution for the perimeter fence around the project as well. Being able to have a single point of contact for multiple items that we need is super helpful. As issues have arisen and we've faced challenges, you guys are proactive and part of the solution. We appreciate that in our trade contractors.
This is an old campus. It was opened in 1886. Making sure that we can keep that history rich and alive for them was a major task, but something that we were able to work through and come up with a good solution for the customer.
I take a ton of pride in restoring something that really is at the heart of Winthrop, but also the heart of the community as well, and just important to this area.